My child, draw near to me now, for I am beginning to whisper something into the deepest chambers of your spirit, something that has waited for the right moment to be revealed, and today I come to you with a question that carries the weight of heaven. Can I trust you with this? Can I trust you with what I am about to place in your hands, with the destiny that is now awakening within you, with the calling that has been forming beneath the surface of your life even when you could not see it, with the breakthrough that has been fighting its way toward you through the storms that were meant to break you but instead shaped you for this very hour? Beloved, you have walked through seasons where you wondered whether I had forgotten you, where you felt unseen, unheard, unvalued, and overlooked. But I tell you now that not a single tear you cried went unnoticed, not a single moment of pain was wasted, not a single night of confusion was ignored by my heart, for I have held every part of your journey within my hands, weaving every broken thread into the tapestry of who you are becoming. My child, this moment did not arrive suddenly. It has been forming through years of refining, stripping, preparing, and awakening, and I ask you now, can I trust you with the very thing you have been asking me for, praying for, longing for, and sometimes doubting would ever come? For I have seen your heart in the waiting, I have watched you in the quiet places where no one else was present, where your spirit whispered prayers through trembling lips, where your faith wavered yet you held on anyway, where you felt the weight of spiritual warfare pressing against your mind and still chose to rise again. And I tell you today that the waiting season was not punishment. It was preparation. The delay was not denial, it was development. The silence was not abandonment, it was alignment. Every moment you felt stretched, every moment you felt stripped, every moment you felt pressed beyond your limits was forming the very capacity you now need to carry what I am releasing into your life. Because my child, destiny cannot be placed into unprepared hands. Breakthrough cannot be entrusted to a heart still entangled in the wounds of yesterday. Purpose cannot be unlocked inside a spirit that has not allowed me to heal the fractures within. And so I ask again with divine tenderness and holy seriousness, can I trust you with this? Beloved, I know the scars you carry. I know the battles that tried to silence you, the people who misunderstood you, the seasons that broke your confidence, the disappointments that shook your identity, and the wounds that made you question your worth. But I also know the resilience I formed within you, the strength that rose from ashes, the perseverance that grew in the shadows, and the faith that refused to die even in the valley of the deepest darkness. You have walked through inner healing, sometimes slowly, sometimes painfully, sometimes reluctantly, but all of it was necessary, for I could not let you step into what is sacred while still carrying the residue of what tried to destroy you. And now, as heaven leans toward your life, as angels stand positioned for your next instruction, as destiny begins to stir like a rising dawn, I place this question before your spirit. Can I trust you with this? Not because I doubt you, but because I desire to awaken you. My child, you have prayed for new levels, for greater anointing, for expansion, increase, calling, clarity, and breakthrough, but every elevation requires deeper surrender. You cannot rise without releasing what no longer belongs to your journey. You cannot step forward while gripping the remnants of past hurt. You cannot carry what I am giving you while still holding on to what I asked you to lay down. The next chapter of your life will demand a version of you that is healed, whole, aligned, and available. That is why I have been cleansing your spirit in this season. That is why certain relationships were removed, certain doors were closed, certain paths were blocked. Not as rejection but as protection. Beloved, I was not taking from you, I was making room for what I want to entrust to you. There are things I am about to release into your life that require your heart to be fully mine. Not partially, not occasionally, not conditionally, but completely surrendered. So hear me, my child. What I am preparing you for is bigger than you think, heavier than you expect, and more sacred than you realize. This calling you carry is not a hobby, it is holy. This destiny is not accidental, it is intentional. This season is not ordinary, it is divine transition. And so I whisper again into your spirit, can I trust you with this? Can I trust you with influence that must be rooted in humility? Can I trust you with doors that require wisdom to walk through? Can I trust you with blessings that must not become idols? Can I trust you with opportunities that require character stronger than temptation? Can I trust you with healing that demands forgiveness? Can I trust you with destiny that requires discipline, courage, and endurance? Beloved, I come to awaken the warrior within you, the purpose within you, the divine identity within you. You are not who you used to be. You are not defined by the version of yourself that survived past storms. You are stepping into the version of yourself that was designed before you were even formed in the womb. The version aligned with heaven's blueprint, heaven's timing, heaven's purpose. The enemy fought you so hard not because you were weak, but because you are dangerous to darkness. He saw what you could not yet see. He sensed what was rising within you before you became aware of it. He recognized your calling long before you recognized your own strength. Every attack was strategic, but so was every victory. Every setback was permitted to strengthen you. Every loss refined you. Every disappointment repositioned you. Nothing has been wasted. And now, my child, you are standing on the threshold of a divine shift. The ground beneath you is changing. The atmosphere around you is aligned. The season ahead of you is opening like a doorway of light. I am positioning you for what your spirit has been crying out for, even when your mind could not articulate the longing. I am pulling you out of the shadows of who you were and guiding you into the radiance of who you are becoming. For you are chosen, beloved. You are called. You are marked by heaven. You are set apart. I have watched you walk through fire and come out with faith. I have watched you endure storms and come out with strength. I have watched you break, heal, surrender, rise, fall, and rise again, and through it all, you never left my hand. This is why I ask you this question. Not to test your worthiness but to awaken your readiness. Can I trust you with this? Can I trust you to carry what others dropped? Can I trust you to walk faithfully even when the path feels unfamiliar? Can I trust you to remain humble when blessings increase? Can I trust you to stay anchored when influence expands? Can I trust you to choose my voice over the noise of the world? Can I trust you to obey even when it stretches your comfort? Can I trust you to surrender even when it costs you something? My child, what I give you will require you to be steady, focused, and deeply rooted in me. Destiny unprotected becomes a burden. Blessing mishandled becomes a trap. Promises carried without preparation become overwhelming. That is why I have taken my time with you, because what I am entrusting to you cannot fall into unready hands. My child, listen closely as I continue to speak into your spirit, for this is not merely a message but a divine unveiling of what has been hidden beneath layers of fear, doubt, and waiting. You have asked me for clarity, for direction, for purpose. But clarity does not come before surrender, direction does not come before stillness, and purpose does not awaken before identity is restored. And so I continue to ask you with love, with intention, with eternal vision. Can I trust you with this? Because what I desire to release into your life is not temporary, not shallow, not fragile. It is weighty, eternal, transformative. It is a mantle, not a moment. It is a calling, not a convenience. It is a destiny, not a daydream. Beloved, there are spiritual assignments attached to your life that require maturity, discipline, and unwavering devotion. I have been shaping you, stretching you, teaching you to hear my voice above every distraction, refining your character in ways you did not understand, and allowing you to walk through situations that revealed what needed to be healed. Every insecurity that rose to the surface, every fear that confronted your courage, every pain that reopened old wounds, I allowed it not to break you but to prepare you. For what I am building within you must be unshakable. The foundation must be pure, steady, and deeply rooted in me, because the higher the calling, the deeper the foundation must go. You have endured seasons where you felt like everything was being stripped away. Relationships faded, opportunities closed, people walked out of your life, and paths that once felt secure suddenly disintegrated. But my child, do you not yet see? I was not removing stability, I was removing substitutes. I was not taking away your identity, I was removing false identities you adopted from past wounds. I was not punishing you, I was pruning you, shaping you, realigning you with who I created you to be. Because the destiny placed inside you requires a pure vessel, and I have lovingly been purifying your heart so that when I place my blessing in your hands, you will steward it with wisdom, humility, and integrity. Beloved, I have watched you try to carry the weight of pain all on your own, trying to look strong while your heart felt fragile, trying to be brave while your spirit trembled. And I say to you now with the tenderness of a father who has never left your side, give me your wounds. Give me the memories that still hurt. Give me the guilt that still whispers lies. Give me the fear that still tightens your chest at night. Give me the questions you've been too afraid to ask. Give me the disappointment you tried to pretend did not exist. My child, healing is not the absence of scars. Healing is the surrender of what those scars still hold. And you have been carrying more than your heart was designed to carry. Place it in my hands now, for I desire to heal you so deeply that the enemy can no longer use your wounds as weapons against your destiny. There are levels I am calling you to walk in that cannot coexist with old bondage. There is a new identity rising in you that cannot be entangled with old lies. There is a future unfolding before you that cannot be built upon past pain. That is why I have been calling you to quiet places, why I have been pulling you away from noise, why your spirit has been craving stillness, because I am reconstructing who you are from the inside out. You thought you were losing everything, but my child, you were being rebuilt. You thought you were being isolated, but you were being instructed. You thought you were forgotten, but you were being formed. Everything you walked through was part of a process that is now reaching a divine turning point. Hear me now. You are stepping into a season where what I trust you with will reflect the maturity of your surrender. I am releasing revelation to those who are willing to walk in obedience. I am releasing opportunities to those who remain humble before me. I am releasing expansion to those whose hearts are aligned with my purpose. I am releasing breakthrough to those who refuse to be defined by their past. That is why I ask you again with eternal focus and holy love. Can I trust you with this? With the blessing that requires responsibility? With the breakthrough that demands stewardship? With the influence that demands character? With the open doors that require discernment? With the relationships that require purity and honesty? With the dreams that require discipline? With the calling that requires courage? Beloved, there is a version of you emerging that even you have not fully recognized yet. Stronger, wiser, bolder, more surrendered, more aligned, more spiritually awakened. You are stepping out of the shadows of who you were, and I am clothing you with the mantle of who you are becoming. The fire that tried to destroy you actually refined you. The storm that tried to drown you actually taught you to walk by faith. The battle that tried to break you actually revealed your spiritual authority. You are not entering this new season wounded, you are entering it warrior trained. You are not entering this new season fragile, you are entering it fortified. You are not entering this new season empty, you are entering it equipped. My child, your spirit has been groaning for more purpose, more clarity, more connection, more direction, and now heaven responds. For I am activating gifts within you that have been dormant. I am awakening spiritual sensitivity that once felt dull. I am expanding your capacity to carry revelation, wisdom, and authority. But with every activation comes responsibility. With every elevation comes spiritual warfare. With every breakthrough comes the need for deeper anchoring. That is why I ask this question, not as a barrier but as a bridge. Can I trust you with this? The destiny I have written for you is not fragile, it is fortified by my power. Yet your stewardship determines how far you can go. You are not stepping into a moment, you are stepping into a mantle. You are not stepping into chance, you are stepping into calling. And the calling on your life is weighty, intentional, and unshakable. The enemy fought you not because of who you were, but because of who you are becoming. He tried to break you before you blossomed. He tried to wound you before you awakened. He tried to confuse you before you could hear my voice clearly. But he failed, beloved. He failed because I covered you. He failed because my hand remained upon your life. He failed because purpose spoke louder than pain. And now, as you stand in this divine transition, I whisper again, can I trust you with this? Can I trust you to forgive where you were hurt? Can I trust you to let go of what keeps your spirit heavy? Can I trust you to release what no longer aligns with your calling? Can I trust you to speak truth when it would be easier to remain silent? Can I trust you to walk by faith when your feelings falter? Can I trust you to honor what I give you instead of clinging to what I remove? My child, the next level of your life requires spiritual maturity, emotional healing, and unwavering trust in me. And I am ready to elevate you, ready to bless you, ready to release you, ready to position you, but I am also ready to refine you further if your heart is not fully prepared. My child, as you step deeper into this message, allow your spirit to open like a soft field under the morning sunlight, for I am pouring into you revelation that has waited for your heart to be ready. The question I continue to whisper, can I trust you with this? Is not a question meant to frighten you, but a divine invitation to rise into the fullness of who you are becoming. For destiny is not given to those who feel perfect. It is entrusted to those who are willing. And you have shown me a willingness that has been tested, forged, and proven through valleys, storms, and seasons of stretching that could have broken you but instead refined you. Beloved, hear me, the journey of your soul has been sacred. Even the parts you tried to erase or forget were woven into a larger story you could not yet see. The heartbreaks shaped compassion within you. The betrayals sharpened discernment. The loneliness opened your spiritual hearing. The disappointments trained your endurance. The losses uncluttered your life so I could fill it with what truly aligns with your calling. Every season that felt like emptiness was actually preparation. Every moment that felt like delay was divine timing. Every chapter that felt like silence was me speaking through stillness. And now, the season you are entering cannot be built on confusion or fear. It must be built on trust. Not just your trust in me but also my trust in you. For there are things I am ready to release that require stewardship, maturity, and spiritual grounding. I am placing in your hands influence that must not be distorted by ego. I am releasing opportunities that must not be sabotaged by old wounds. I am giving you discernment that must not be clouded by insecurity. I am awakening purpose that must not be entangled in past shame. And so I continue to ask this holy question with a voice full of love and intention. Can I trust you with this? You see, my child, I am not looking for perfection. I am looking for surrender. I am not asking you to be flawless. I am asking you to be faithful. I am not requiring you to have all the answers. I am calling you to walk in obedience. I know your weaknesses, but I also know your willingness. I know your fears, but I also know your faith. I know your history, but I also know your destiny. And destiny carries a weight that the unprepared cannot hold. That is why I have been preparing you, shaping you, carving out space within your spirit for the assignment I am about to awaken. Beloved, there is a spiritual strength rising in you, the kind of strength that is not loud but steady, not proud but rooted, not forceful but deeply aligned with my ways. You have endured battles that few understood. You have fought through nights when tears became your only prayer. You have walked through seasons where you held on to hope with trembling hands. And through it all, I watched, not as a distant observer but as a father, as a healer, as a protector, as the one who counted every tear and turned each one into a seed of transformation. You thought you were surviving, but you were growing. You thought you were breaking, but you were becoming. You thought you were alone, but I was always with you, guiding, shielding, whispering, strengthening. And now, my child, as you rise into this next chapter, you must understand something sacred. Calling attracts warfare. Purpose awakens resistance. Destiny provokes opposition. But none of these things are signs that you are failing, they are signs that you are rising. For the enemy does not attack what is empty, he attacks what is valuable. He does not fight where there is no threat, he fights where there is divine potential. And you have been targeted not because you were weak, but because heaven placed something powerful inside you. The warfare against your life was never about who you were, it was about who you are becoming. But hear me now, the battles you faced were not meant to stop you, they were allowed to strengthen you. The spiritual warfare that surrounded your life taught you how to pray with authority. The pressure that pushed against you taught you how to stand with resilience. The darkness that tried to swallow you taught you how to reach for the light. And now I say to you, you are not entering this season wounded, you are entering it armed. You know how to fight. You know how to endure. You know how to recognize lies, dismantle fear, and stand firm in the face of spiritual storms. You have grown, beloved, more than you even realize. Yet even in your strength, I call you to surrender, for surrender is the doorway to destiny. You have held on to certain things, fears, habits, memories, attachments, not because you wanted to, but because you did not yet recognize how deeply they were affecting your spirit. But this is the season where I call you to release everything that weighs down your soul. Release the anger that subtly steals your peace. Release the doubt that whispers you're not good enough. Release the need to control what only I can orchestrate. Release the guilt for things that are already forgiven. Release the fear of stepping into who you truly are. My child, what I am entrusting to you requires your hands to be empty and your heart to be open. And so I ask again, can I trust you with this? With the healing that will require honesty? With the breakthrough that will require discipline? With the opportunity that will require courage? With the platform that will require purity? With the blessings that will require gratitude? With the relationships that will require vulnerability? With the calling that will require consistency? Beloved, you are stepping into a divine alignment. The things that once felt heavy will begin to feel lighter. The confusion that clouded your mind will begin to clear. The direction you once begged me for will begin to unfold naturally, without striving, without forcing, without fear. You will begin to notice my hand in details you once overlooked. Conversations, connections, desires, restlessness, doors opening, doors closing, opportunities appearing out of nowhere. Nothing will be random. Nothing will be accidental. Every step will be guided, every nudge intentional, every shift purposeful. You are entering a season where heaven moves on your behalf. Not because you are lucky, but because you are aligned. Not because you earned it, but because you surrendered. Not because you forced it, but because you trusted. My child, surrender is what unlocks the supernatural flow of destiny. And you are entering that flow now. My child, breathe deeply now, for what I am about to speak is meant to settle into the deepest layers of your spirit. I am not merely giving you a message. I am reshaping the way your heart interprets seasons, struggles, and silence. This is the hour where I bring clarity to confusion, purpose to pain, and direction to the places where you once felt lost. You have walked through valleys that made you question your worth, storms that tested your strength, and moments that made you wonder if I was truly there. And I say to you with unwavering truth, I was there in every breath, every tear, every trembling prayer, every night your heart whispered my name even when your mind doubted my presence. Beloved, you must understand something sacred. Before I trust you with destiny, I trust you with process. And the process you walked through was not punishment, it was preparation. You were not abandoned, you were being refined. You were not overlooked, you were being trained. You were not delayed, you were being aligned with the timing necessary for your purpose to unfold perfectly. What you considered detours were actually divine redirections. What you considered losses were actually strategic removals. What you considered stuck seasons were actually seasons where your roots were growing beneath the surface, becoming strong enough to carry the weight of the calling that approaches now. My child, you asked me for breakthrough and I heard you. You cried for healing and I responded. You begged for clarity and I answered in whispers, in signs, in feelings, in closed doors and open ones. But breakthrough does not begin externally, it begins internally. You cannot carry what I am giving you with a wounded spirit. You cannot step into destiny while still holding on to the identity the world gave you. You cannot walk into freedom while clinging tightly to the memories that chained you. So I worked on your heart before I worked on your circumstances. I healed you quietly before I changed things visibly. I strengthened your spirit before I elevated your position. Because true transformation begins in the unseen. And now, beloved, with gentleness and authority, I ask again, can I trust you with this? With the dream that requires discipline? With the blessings that require wisdom? With the opportunities that require humility? With the breakthroughs that require discernment? With the relationships that require grace? With the influence that requires spiritual maturity? You see, the calling on your life is not ordinary. The mantle I placed upon you is not shallow. You were not chosen for simple tasks. You were chosen for divine assignments. And divine assignments require a heart that has been tested, refined, surrendered, and strengthened. You have been asking me for more purpose, more clarity, more direction, more provision, more breakthrough. And I say to you with eternal tenderness, the more you seek begins with who you are becoming, not what you are receiving. The moment you align with identity, destiny becomes unavoidable. When you begin to believe what I say about you, the lies that held you back lose their grip. When you walk in authority rather than fear, doors open without you forcing them. When you release what drains you and embrace what I am placing before you, everything begins to shift. My child, there is a season coming, and it begins even now, where you will feel me pulling you closer into alignment. You will feel certain desires losing their grip on you. You will feel an urgency to rise, to grow, to heal, to release old versions of yourself. You will feel called to deeper intimacy with me, not out of obligation, but because your spirit is awakening. You will begin to notice the subtle ways I speak. The thoughts that feel like sudden clarity, the burdens that feel like nudges, the peace that settles when you move in the right direction, the heaviness that warns you when something is misaligned. I am sharpening your spiritual sensitivity, enlarging your discernment, and preparing your heart to carry what your hands have prayed for. Beloved, you often feared that you were behind in life, behind in purpose, behind in progress. But heaven does not measure your life by earthly timelines. I measure your life by readiness. And you are not behind, you are right on schedule. Every time you thought you were delayed, you were being developed. Every time you thought you were denied, you were being redirected. Every time you thought you were forgotten, you were being fortified. What seemed like stagnation was actually my hand holding you in place until the soil was ready for you to be planted. And now, as the soil shifts beneath your feet, as the atmosphere around your spirit begins to change, I whisper again with loving authority, can I trust you with this? Because what I am releasing requires a heart that is steady, not restless. A mind that is clear, not chaotic. A spirit that is anchored, not easily shaken. I am positioning you for something that will require a new level of focus, a new level of obedience, a new level of humility, a new level of devotion. This is not the time to shrink back into old patterns. This is not the time to return to old environments. This is not the time to allow familiar fears to dictate your future. This is the time to rise. Beloved, hear me. Your next season will demand a healed version of you, not the version that barely survived the last one. You have been shedding old identities, the fearful one, the uncertain one, the wounded one, the overthinking one, the self-doubting one. And now, a new version of you is emerging, bold, refined, restored, awakened. This version of you is ready for purpose. This version of you is ready for elevation. This version of you is ready for clarity. This version of you is ready to be trusted. My child, the things that once triggered you will begin to lose their power. The situations that once confused you will become clear. The wounds that once dictated your decisions will begin to heal. The mistakes that once defined you will lose their authority. You are stepping into identity, and identity is the birthplace of destiny. Once you know who you are, the enemy cannot deceive you. Once you understand your worth, you stop fighting for validation. Once you understand your purpose, you stop chasing distractions. Once you understand your calling, you stop begging for approval. Beloved, you have no idea, absolutely no idea, how close you are to breakthrough. The shift you have been praying for is nearer than you realize. The alignment you've been waiting for is unfolding even now. The clarity you've been seeking is coming in waves. The doors that seemed locked will open suddenly. The heaviness you've been carrying will begin to fall away. The confusion that clouded your path will break like fog under morning sunlight. For I am not only changing what is around you, I am changing what is within you. My child, as you step deeper into this journey with me, understand that what I am placing inside you is not small, not ordinary, not something meant to be carried casually or treated lightly, for I am entrusting you with something that has weight in the spirit, something that carries eternal impact, something that shifts atmospheres and alters destinies, and I ask again, gently yet firmly, can I trust you with this? Can I trust you to hold what others have mishandled, to protect what others have broken, to nurture what others have overlooked, to value what others have despised, to walk faithfully with what I place in your hands even when no one applauds, even when no one understands, even when no one sees the quiet battles you fight within? Beloved, I have seen your tears, I have seen your silent disappointments, I have seen the seasons when you felt overlooked and unprepared, yet still you stayed, still you prayed, still you whispered my name even when your heart trembled, and because of that unwavering whisper, because of that unshakable faith buried inside your wounded places, I say to you now, you are ready for more than you realize. You are ready to rise, ready to carry greater responsibility, greater authority, greater spiritual maturity, but with this increase comes a question that must be answered in the deepest chambers of your heart, not with your lips, not with promises formed in excitement, but with the steady posture of your soul. Can I trust you with influence, with favor, with revelation, with impact, with spiritual gifts that require discipline and humility, with opportunities that will stretch you beyond what you have known? My child, I am not asking because I doubt you. I am asking because I am shaping you for what is coming. I am forming your character to match your calling, strengthening your discernment to match your assignment, widening your capacity to match the oil I am pouring into you. And though you feel the stretching, the pulling, the breaking of old patterns, it is not punishment, it is preparation, for I do not pour new wine into old skins, and I do not release destiny into an unprepared spirit. Beloved, I am teaching you the weight of obedience, the power of surrender, the beauty of consistency, for these are the foundations upon which I will build the next chapter of your life. I am refining you to recognize my voice in the storm, my presence in the silence, my hand in the delay, my purpose in the disappointment, for there will be moments ahead where only trust will carry you. Trust will be your compass. Trust will be your anchor. Trust will be your shelter when the enemy attempts to stir confusion, fear, or weariness. And yet, even in those moments, I will whisper again, can I trust you? Can I trust you not to abandon your calling when it becomes uncomfortable? Can I trust you not to bury your gift when battles feel heavy? Can I trust you not to compromise when temptation surrounds you? Can I trust you to guard your heart when old wounds attempt to reopen? Can I trust you to hold my word above your emotions, to hold my promises above your circumstances, to hold my truth above what your eyes see? My child, the reason I ask is because what I am giving you requires spiritual depth, emotional resilience, and a heart anchored in me. You carry influence even when you don't see it. You shift atmospheres even when you don't feel it. You carry authority even when you doubt it. You are becoming a vessel that heaven can flow through, and with that calling comes a divine stretching that is uncomfortable but necessary. Beloved, I know you have questioned yourself. I know you have wondered if you are good enough, strong enough, holy enough, wise enough, but hear me. I choose vessels not because they are perfect, but because they are willing. I choose the humble. I choose the teachable. I choose the ones who say, here I am, Lord, use me, even when their knees tremble. And you, my child, you have said yes through your tears, yes through your uncertainty, yes through your battles, and heaven has heard you. Now I am asking for a deeper yes. A yes that is steady. A yes that does not collapse under pressure. A yes that trusts me more than your own understanding. A yes that obeys even when the path is unfamiliar. A yes that holds on to me even when the world pulls on you. And so I ask once more not to test your worth but to strengthen your spirit. Can I trust you with this? For I am placing in your hands something sacred, something powerful, something that carries the fragrance of heaven and the fire of transformation. And if you hold it with humility, with devotion, with purity of heart, you will watch me open doors that no man can shut, align opportunities that no enemy can interfere with, and release breakthroughs that no earthly force can delay. My child, breathe deeply now, for what I am releasing into your spirit in this moment is not only revelation but also impartation. Courage, clarity, peace, inner healing, restoration, and the quiet but undeniable certainty that you are chosen for this time, this season, this assignment. I am strengthening your inner walls, healing your old wounds, restoring the parts of you that broke in silence, renewing your identity, and awakening the dormant places within you that have long waited for this divine moment. You are stepping into a season where what once felt heavy will become holy, where what once felt confusing will become clear, where what once felt delayed will become right on time. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are being positioned. And as you stand at this threshold between who you were and who you are becoming, hear my voice echoing gently but powerfully through your spirit. Yes, my child, I can trust you, for you are rising into who you were always meant to be.